Greetings and salutations, friends and comrades. I am Admiral Andre and I welcome you back to Transport Fever, specifically the motor industry mission of the US campaign. I think this will now be the third section of that mission. So let's get right into it. What we have to do, and we have to keep in mind, we only have until 1925, so we have to be done before that date. And that basically revolves around building the racetrack here at Indianapolis for the Indy 500. So that's the next step. We've completed now the smuggling of the booze, but of course we still have access to the creation of the booze basically. And it will still ship as goods, but it's legal now, so we don't get that $50,000 bonus anymore. But still, it is a source of income. And I still actually want to test that theory that you can deliver goods to a passenger station. So that could be something interesting. You also have to keep in mind that we have to have $25 million before the end of the mission. So that really means we must maximize our income at every opportunity possible. So let's just see what is happening with this food delivery. I'll just put it on the slowest speed. So we have 38 waiting there, 16 waiting there, so it's not too bad. And the livestock delivery should be making some money at least. It seems decent. And what's happening? The food. Okay, so I think all our lines should be profitable at the moment, and yes, they are. Of course, the passenger mega line between Indianapolis and Chicago is making us an absolute killing there, which it needs to. Let's just see again that I didn't look now for the goods smuggling. Okay, so about 200,000. And no, that's the food. So we must wait for the night train, and it's actually waiting here now. Let's just see. So, okay, they didn't actually make a profit, but I think that was still while the 50,000 was going on. So they don't show that here. Anyway, so the next step is the construction materials to the racetrack. So let's actually just get going with that before we allow any more time to pass. We have to deliver 100 units of construction materials to the track, but then we can ship it to the various cities and so on. And I think actually here is where we can't test this theory of using a passenger station for industrial goods, because this one only covers the commercial area of Indianapolis, and if we want to ship construction materials, it must go to the industrial sector. So I think let's just get a... Should I do this now? Well, there's nothing stopping us just before they develop further here. So this one is actually, again, I don't want any catenary yet. For the time when... Well, actually... I'm jumping a bit, but now I'm just thinking, because we have to plan ahead here basically, and that means after we build the racetrack, we still want to be making money from our construction materials line. And then of course the most obvious route will be to just ship it to the industrial quarter of Indianapolis. But it's so close, maybe we can just do that with trucks once the track here is complete, I'm wondering. Anyway, we can worry about it later. The fact that it's so close makes it a lot easier. So I'll just get that not a passenger station. Almost made a mistake there. That should do. Then this will be the midpoint. So it needs to be just a normal freight station. Unfortunately, we don't have curved stations yet. Even though they did show it in one of their preview videos, I think the developers have said they are still going to bring that into the game, because that would be a nice feature. We can curve the station to fit in very nicely. But I think this will work nevertheless. Let's just have a look. It does indeed. So, next one. And that is right here. So I also think using trains is indeed warranted, because this will be a future money maker for us. So let's just get that one up there and then build the line between them. I think we should be able to meet the deadline for this mission. I'm hoping so, because so far I failed on that account in every single mission that we've done. Just make a nice curve here that allows a decent speed. 95 is certainly not bad. And here it will have to probably... not too much. 92. 92 is a good speed again. Especially for a freight train. And there we go. Very, very nice line indeed. So let's just put up the depot here somewhere again. Maybe actually I'll put it here by the actual delivery point. Oh, was that now a bad idea? Oh well, it doesn't matter. Can always fix it. I'm just thinking I might actually need two trains, one here and one there. But at the start we could probably just share the line with one train that delivers both. So that we should have enough money, I think. The Mikado is probably the better option here, because we're dealing with a lot of stone and construction materials, so heavy things that still 80 kilometers is not bad, but the tractive effort and the power, those are really the keys. Tractive effort not so much. This is not a hilly terrain, but it will help it accelerate and decelerate certainly much easier. So the Mikado is definitely the one. Then let's just see, can we share construction material and stone? No, we can't. We'll need two different cars for that, unfortunately. Oh well. So stone, let's get 4 or 5. Okay, money is now going to be the thing. I'm thinking already again I can just go take out a loan, but I have to remember that I can't do that. Maybe I can let the clock run a little. Okay, that's it. So just for this, for now. New line. So it will stop here just to begin. Then it will go straight through to there. And then there. Okay, that should do. And again, the reason why I put the depot here is just so that hopefully by the time it reaches the stone mine there, or the quarry, that it will actually have started producing by then. So let's have a look. I'll just name this the construction line. That should do. And what color can this one be? Some kind of a grey perhaps. That'll do. And I think that is the major thing. The others will of course be to now ship the goods to Indianapolis as well. I'm wondering. That might be a thing now. Well, the issue is, firstly I'll have to double this section of the line so that another train can make it up here, unless I just put another depot there. That might also be a good idea. So let me just actually do that. We're gonna try this. It's just an experiment. Let's see how it goes. Just so they go onto the right side again. Then, because I'm just very curious to know if we can really deliver goods to a passenger station. I don't know if somebody was just misleading people by saying that, or if it's an actual thing. Now, how am I going to do this? It will have to cross the track somewhere here. Actually, for this I must pause it, because I don't want another mess with the lines. And since here it is crossing the track to the right hand, we have a very big potential of that. So the trains will be coming down on the right hand side here, so we must just hold them on this side before they get to that crossing so that the other one has a chance to cross. Then I'll just put a signal here as well in case one has already crossed. And then what else? Let's see, then maybe just another one here as well so that it clears the path for the goods train to just move ahead. So a lot of signals in this section, but I'm hoping it will work out. And then they must share this little bit of line. So I'll put a signal here as well. So this is not actually a double line, it's an independent line in this section. Then we can just add a branch somewhere from which the depot will be built. Just wondering, can I fit that in there? That might not be a thing, it will have to be down here. Okay, so the ultimate test has arrived. So we'll pick up goods there and then we'll go all the way down on the passenger line and see if we can drop it off at the passenger station. I'll still call this goods in inverted commas. And let's just buy a very cheap small train so that we can just test this. But now the other thing is it mustn't block the passenger rail. So I'm thinking, I guess just another Atlantic will do. We can always make another station in Indianapolis if this doesn't work. So goods, wagons, let's see how many can we get. Just 3. Ah well, that'll do. So set line, goods. Let's see what happens. It's not complaining yet. Although I doubt we will see any goods being produced immediately. It does take a while. It's all for the other one still. That's okay. Usually they go the first trip empty anyway, so by the time it gets back here, if there's nothing waiting for this line, then we will know it's impossible to ship goods to a passenger station. So where is the construction? Oh, there's actually material waiting already. That's awesome. So just one on board at the moment, but of course that will pick up, so something good there. Then the other thing, it seems like it's already happening. Oh yes, hold the clock. Look at this madness. Look at all these people. You see what they do here, and I think that's very clever how they do it under the hood, you know, behind the scenes. They actually make these sites like this racetrack into a shopping area, which I think is justifiable because it certainly is not an industry per se, but it is like a leisure area, so it provides a commercial service to people. So they come here and spend their money to have some fun at the racetrack. That definitely makes sense. But then somewhere they tweak it so that it's more attractive as a shopping area than the normal commercial districts. And then you get all of these people coming to visit it, which is nice because, you know, it's a campaign object. So I think it is very good that they do that. And actually at some point, I'm probably being a bit ahead of the curve now because I know what's going to happen. The last mission objective in this particular scenario will be to transport people to the racetrack. So we can actually start doing that already because here are the people clamoring to visit the track. So we might as well start making money from them already. Now, of course, the track is only being built still, but we can maybe justify it by saying that the people are just having a nice day trip out to the construction site because it's such an exciting development and they just want to see how the track is being built so that they can show their children, you know, we were there when it was still being built. So that would be a nice thing, I guess, if we can already start transporting the people, because look how many there are, and they will just come in droves to this site. And now this will also have a positive impact, I think, on our passenger line, because the people from Chicago will also prefer to come and quote unquote shop here. So that's something to keep in mind. There we go, we've got some materials, 1 out of 100 at least. It's a slow start, but it's something. Let's see, is the second night train, does it have something good? Aha, okay, so the goods are waiting here. Let's see if they get shipped, because if this is a thing, then it is something I never heard about until very recently, that you can actually ship goods to passenger stations. Of course you can't pick them up at passenger stations, but if you can just deliver them there, that will be awesome already. Let's make this one like another very dark color. This is night train number 2. Let's rename it. And I looked it up since the last video. It is actually a very cheap alcohol. It's by the same company that makes Thunderbird. So night train, I guess. There we go. Maybe that's how it got its name. Smuggling alcohol by trains. And let's see, are you leaving the station? So then this one will park there and the people will be very confused, and then you will make your way back. So we'll see about that. Food must also still be shipped here. So we know then if they do accept the goods, we can also start shipping food across this existing line to Indianapolis. That would be another awesome money maker, because we're not doing so well on that front right now. Part of the problem is these trains are so slow. They're going at less than half speed. Then we didn't even hook up Detroit yet. So there certainly is a lot to do in this scenario, and not much time to do it in. We can just lay the foundations maybe for the track. I'm wondering, we could actually sidestep all of this stuff so we don't have to cross more lines and things. We just curve around here. It will be a bit of a slow bend, but then we just pass the lake here and then go straight to Detroit. But then again, should we not rather connect them to Indianapolis because of the racetrack? Then again, maybe that's where I should start. So let's rather do that. Maybe at one of these stops, this one that's at the station anyway. I'm going to put up a bus or a tram line. Let's put up a tram line to the racetrack. Why not? So I need to go to the roads and I can't do that yet, so let's see here. Electric. What's that button for? I don't know. So then, I'm sorry people, you're gonna get deleted now. Can I expand the road? Actually, I can. Sometimes it doesn't allow it. The buildings are in the way. Of course, all the people get deleted now. Very regrettable. There's a building that will get demolished. Oh well, sorry. Okay, something like that. I mean, they will thank me later, I'm sure. Let's see, I'm going to build a loop in here. Uh-oh. Let's just make it the normal size again. I doubt they'll use it, but it's just another test. Just to see that the trams rather go around instead of just flipping around magically. Then we'll need a nice station here, because this will be a very popular site to visit. Electric tram, so somewhere here I think. Is it good? It might actually be good already. I think it's good. There we go. So that's the drop-off and pickup site. And then the normal traffic will still be able to move here now without being interrupted. So I think making wider roads is actually worth it if you are working in bigger cities. Smaller towns are really not an issue. There we go. So let me just set up the line, and that is from there to the station, and it is curving around actually, so it will obviously just follow that one. But if you make the curve too big, then they will definitely rather prefer to just flip around and reverse. Racetrack, there we go. Not a fancy name, but anyway. Certainly is a very nice road. Come on, where's my materials? Aha, 16. So I'd be very curious to know actually, just, you know, since it came up, if anyone watching this ever had Night Train and Thunderbird, if they could tell me what it's like. I assume it will be absolutely atrocious, but it would be very funny to actually find out. So there we go, nice turquoise-ish train stopping there. And where is the goods train, the second night train? Now that we know it seems to be working, we can actually maybe add another car or two to this train. I love how it like screeches along the tracks when it has a very sharp bend. Also, since the last recording, the developers have released like a big stability patch for this game, so maybe if someone had issues, I've never had an issue at all, then that will hopefully make it better for them. So that shows they are really on top of things. And they are listening to people, so I think that is always a good sign of a developer. So shall we make this night train like a maxed out one? Let's do it. People in Indianapolis deserve to get just as hammered as the ones in Chicago. There we go. Night train, don't ask what's in here. Now, of course, I think it was still really Prohibition in 1918, but they just obviously adjusted for gameplay purposes. So we pretend as if it still is Prohibition. That's why it's another night train that's like painted almost black. So get on board the night train. That would be a really nice thing actually if we can now just deliver it to that station, the passenger one. It's an interesting dynamic that they allow that, I think. And something, you know, if you most of the times, to be honest, in a city you don't want to pick up materials or how can I say, cargo from a city. You pick it up from the industries outside the towns. So really all you want is to drop it off. So if that's the case, you might as well then use the passenger stations. That's really actually a very good thing maybe. Obviously it won't cover the whole city, but it covers the parts that we want. And luckily I did plan for that. Now, do we have any money for a tram yet? No, I spent everything again. That should be the other one. Yep. The royal blue. Come on, we're supposed to get $25 million. Hopefully the cargo one or the goods one now will help. And that one can also be maxed, I think. It's not carrying enough yet. Let's see how many goods. See, it's only getting not even a fifth of the goods that, or moonshine anyway, that Chicago demands is being delivered. So seriously, there is room. Okay, let's find out what happens. Actually, before that takes place, let me just get a tram running. So the best will do, and that is the Peter Witt streetcar. So I will have 3 or 4 of those. Let's say 4. Just because the track will be very popular. There we go. They will space themselves out. So let's follow the night train and see if the people of Indianapolis get wasted. It's doing a decent speed. So you can see those passenger cars are really very heavy for the Atlantics. These ones, that's why they're so slow, but they also have so many, that's why. Do we get paid? What happens? We do! Okay, awesome. So that wasn't just a rumor, it's a fact. So now you know, you learned it here, or well, you learned it wherever you learned it, but it's confirmed now. The myth is not a myth at all. You can deliver industrial goods to passenger stations. Now, where are we? Oh yes, the brand new tram line. It'll take a while to get into effect again. No one yet. They can't believe that there's a nice tram track. Then it just goes around just to make it a bit more realistic there. It doesn't just flip over the road. And is anyone walking yet? No, they all got wiped out. Milwaukee Road Class EP2, so that should be a nice one. Very expensive one, I'm sure. The bipolar, yes, 8 million. And actually, now that I've been playing the European missions on my own as a free game, I realized that's where you see the crocodile. Because I think once in a video I was wondering if this bipolar was also the crocodile because they look so similar. But it's actually a separate European locomotive. I don't know if it was just a rip-off of the other one, or if it was some adaptation of it or something. I don't know, because they look the same, you know, with the articulations and all of that. It's a bit of a sharp bend here. The money needs to flow a bit better than this, but we're making good progress, I think. 1919, so we have to move. The next thing again, but I try to not play it like that, you know, as if I know what's going to happen next. But I do, because I have played it before. But in that first game, I didn't know that you would have to take people to the racetrack. I could just see the hordes were marching down the road here, so I thought I might as well capitalize on that. But that's why I'm thinking, because we're going to have to ship fuel next, oil to fuel to the track. But I don't want to already build that because I know it's going to happen. But this I would have done anyway. So let's just wait on that one. I think Detroit needs to get some love now. It has been totally neglected so far. And that's a bit odd, because that is the heart of the motor industry. Or at least it was, I guess, back when this scenario took place. Now, how are we going to do this now? Because we want to be leaving on the right hand. Got an idea. But then again, I was just thinking maybe we can build a nice bridge over here to head to Detroit. But then is it really necessary? We can just split that off and have the other one wait. That would just be the more practical thing, I guess. We do need the money. So I'll just do that. Let me just stop everything and delete the signal. I'm afraid practicality will have to win the day. And then the signal can go back there, just before the post, so they can actually see it. Then still, it will make now no difference. The trains coming in on the right will still wait if there's another one, of course, in the station. And then we just curve around the lake. Lake Michigan, I guess. I once visited one of the lakes. Is it Lake Ontario? I think the one that's near Syracuse and upstate New York. So I was in New York and I took a bus to Binghamton in upstate New York, and for a short trip there to the university in Binghamton. And then from there I took another bus to Syracuse, where I met with a professor from Oswego in well, that is still in upstate New York, but on the lake there. And the one day I just took a walk down to the lake, and that was a very interesting experience. I never saw the Great Lakes before then. And I also had some of the water to drink, but people were telling me that is a really bad idea. But just a tiny little sip, so I could say, hey, I actually tasted some of the water in the Great Lakes. But anyway, people found that absolutely hilarious. They couldn't believe it. And it actually had a bit of a brackish taste. But yeah, it was not a good idea, I think. But still, I live to tell the tale. That's what adventures are all about. So let's just create the station here. Now, an area, again, I don't know if this will really be possible to cover the commercial and residential areas, but again, I think maybe since we will have a bus here, it's more about covering the commercial area so we can ship our moonshine to Detroit as well. Okay, I think that should do. Is connected there? Yep, it's connected. So that covers most of the town. And now we know again we can have the station for two purposes. And I really didn't realize that. I thought that's why we have freight stations, but that's just for the pickup really. There we go, that's still a nice decent speed. Okay, I don't know how long I've been rambling now. I didn't set my timer, I think, so I'll just stop this episode here, and in the next one we can finish this scenario. Oh no, hold on, hold the phone. Let me just finish with the actual construction material, then I'll end the episode. Let's not spend a whole episode and not move ahead in the scenario. Okay, let's just create the line. So now I didn't even create the Detroit Indianapolis line, but anyway, because the Chicago Indianapolis line can't carry more people. And this one can be a bright orange because the line was orange. Let's just use the Atlantic again. With some of these heavyweight parlors. Is that a good idea? Probably not. They actually weigh less than the heavyweight parlor. Now hold on. This one is 45. This one is 35. Okay, so they made some innovations there. So this one carries more people, but it's a lot lighter. A lot more expensive, of course, to maintain, but anyway. Such is life. Let's just get two to start off with. So it will just have to wait a little bit. That's alright. We can paint it so long. And the Junkers F-13 is available, so we can actually create an airline between the different cities, but again, I'm a little worried now because of the finances. We're a little bit behind. In 5 years, we have to have $25 million. I don't know if I'm going to manage that one because I love spending it so much. Anyway, let's just get this train back to Indianapolis. Go on, go on. That is a monster train. Might have to replace all of these wagons with the new heavyweights, which are actually lighter, but that will cost way too much. Look at the skyscrapers in Chicago. I just love that. And it fits the time, you know, 1920. Alright, so there's the orange train. No one interested yet, but by the time they get to Detroit, someone will be interested. Even though this doesn't cover the whole city, it does cover some of the residences, so we will have some interest. Definitely, not much, but it's something just to get it started. because we really have to focus on the mission objectives right now. 22 unfortunately won't make it. Oh, it will. No, it will. Of course it will. And adding to this train will actually be a big improvement, because look at all the stone that's waiting. So we have to time it just right that the track opens. Hey, look at that. It's actually being built there. You can see it being built. So that it opens when we have $25 million in the bank. But before 1925. Come on, they're going to finish it just now. Hey, look at that. It's a nice touch, I think. Almost done, I would imagine. Ah yes, you see it's actually there. They're storing the building materials while they're building. And what's our streetcars doing? Okay, they do have some people. That one is full, so it is warranted, I think. And what's next for us?
The racetrack is complete. Just a few more preparations and we're ready to go. A racing car such as this guzzles more than a thirsty pig farmer on a Saturday evening. We should make sure plenty of gasoline is available so that the daredevil drivers don't run out of fuel.
There we go. So that's our theme for the next episode. Until then, I hope you have a fantastic day and hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.